Alright, welcome back. Let me bring you up to speed. We were in the middle of a chat when you suddenly started spacing out, and the whole time you were grinning to yourself like you just won the lottery. Care to tell me what that was all about? Well, where to start? Interesting, very interesting. So, the haunting clapper's curse echo appeared out of nowhere, told you how to perform the rite of resurrection, and gave you the curse you'll need to do it. Have I got that right? That's right. So, it's all real. Honestly, I still find it hard to believe, but I guess I have to now. I saw that curse stone appear in your hand myself. It looked like it popped clean out of thin air. With evidence that clear, there's no denying that there's some supernatural force at work. I don't think you quite understand. Oh. This isn't about evidence, and it isn't about belief. It's more than that. I know it's real. The moment the curse appeared, I knew everything before I even said a word. It was already in my head, as clear as day. You just knew, huh? It was etched into my soul, along with the curse echo's resentful memory. So, I can feel it, what it was like. Dying like they did, hundreds of years ago. Wreathed in flame, writhing in pain as my flesh blackened and my blood boiled. I can feel it. All the agony, all the rage. It fills me with bloodlust. I think I need to kill someone. Anyone will do, just as long as they're carrying fire. I see. That could be a problem. You think so? From what I know of you, I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity. The stronger the desire to resurrect someone, the stronger the urge to kill. That's how it seems to me, anyway. Good grief. Talk about a spanner in the works. I say we take stock for a moment, remind ourselves where we've come from and where we're going. That might be a good idea, actually. About the investigation. That's what you hired me for, ma'am, to look into your son's kidnapping last year. To uncover the truth behind the abduction and murder of Shuichi Shigima. Oh, yes, I remember. They never did find the one who did it. That's what I'm here about today, in fact. Kind of you to let me drop by so late, by the way. I've been turning over every last stone, and I've come up with a grand total of 1 lead. So you said. As far as the police are concerned, it's a cold case, but I've managed to make some headway. I remember, you were just about to tell me. A kidnapping and murder case that took place in Honjo, Sumida, around 1 year ago. Haruhi Shigima's son, Shuichi, age 11, was kidnapped on his way home from school with a ransom being demanded that same evening. Initially, the kidnapping was thought of as a simple extortion scheme, but when it came to light that the Shigima family was closely tied to the police, and Shuichi was, in fact, the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. The kidnapping was treated as a direct attack against the good name of the police, and a large-scale investigation was launched that used the best equipment available to trace phone calls. This made it all the more embarrassing when they were unable to catch the culprit, losing the public's confidence. The culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Haruhi reached a breaking point. Spurred by concern for her son, she resolved to hand over the ransom money as fast as possible, but her husband and father, who had the prestige of the police in high regard, refused. saying that they would not let the criminal win by giving in to their demands. The increasingly frantic detective assigned to the case lost his temper when the criminal called to give an ultimatum, causing the culprit to never make contact again. Another week passed, and Shuichi's body was found, floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi's death could be largely ascribed to the police's incompetence, but this was ultimately covered up with stringent media embargoes. The investigation was never closed, but the case has long gone cold. Damn. You know, I understand that in a ransom case you do want to find the culprit, but there are better ways. There are better ways to go about this. Give them the money to get the boy back. He was, what, 10? Damn. Person of interest. This Shuichi Shigema male. No. Okay, I'm not gonna... What? Shuichi's tendency to put other people's needs over his own meant he died without ever telling his classmates how much he longed for them all to go on a hunt for mockingbird stickers. Cute, but... What? You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Tell me what. Why don't I tell you what I found and then we can make a decision? Alright? Yeah, then tell me! Okay, I need to click on the other ones first. I understand. I suppose there's not much point going over the kidnapping itself. No, I'm very familiar. Then I'll leave that for the files to cover and just confirm a few things about the case. The police traced the culprit's calls back to, let's see here, northern Oyoko River, here in Sumida City. That's quite a wide area. That's right. In the end, they never managed to nail down exactly where that call were coming from. Calls. But it was almost certainly the same location that Shuichi was being held captive, since Shuichi's voice could be heard during the killer's calls. Northern Oyoko River is quite a distance from Shuichi's normal school commute. Factoring in that he was seen at school but went missing before he arrived at his home, it's likely that he was abducted by a car on his route home. Maybe, but exactly. Shuichi was a clever boy. He never would have gotten into a car with a stranger. That's right. I was very firm about that. I know he understood too. I even saw him warning the other children. It's possible that they forced him into the car. Ooh, okay, that makes it likely that it was a fellow police officer that abducted him. The only issue there weren't any witnesses to the kidnapping. You can't bundle someone into a car with that many students around and not to be noticed. But nobody came forward to say they saw anything suspicious. So, did they target him at home at some other time, or somewhere away from his usual route? Both of those seem a little far-fetched. Which raises the question, how did the kidnapper pull it off? The police never managed to find an answer. In the end, they decided that the kidnapper must just have gotten lucky. Well, why not turn the problem on its head? The kidnapper managed to convince Shuichi to get into their car. But how? The only thing that makes sense to me is if they were somebody that he would have a reason to trust. A teacher, perhaps, or a relative, or somebody else that he knew. But all of the adults in Shuichi knew had... alibis. Police checked them all thoroughly. They did, huh? No one throws numbers at a problem like the cops. But what if it wasn't someone he knew, or rather... What if the culprit disguised themselves as a police officer? That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. The Shigima family has close ties with the police after all. He would have had a reason to trust them. You might be right, but surely that couldn't have... Well, there's a problem with the theory. You'd be surprised how much police officers stand out. That's sort of the point after all. They're meant to be a visible deterrent against crime. But there's another interesting little bit of trivia I happen to know. When you ask people to imagine someone suspicious, nobody pictures women or children. Even kids who have been warned about stranger danger often subconsciously expect that danger to look like an adult man. Well, because it is 99% of the time a man that is doing everything. It's not always men, but almost always. Besides, Shuji was the sort of boy who wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. He must have had a very strong sense of right and wrong. That's right. Wait, surely you can't mean... Now you're getting it. If, say, a young woman approached Shuji asking for help, what would he have done? If someone like that said they were lost and asked him for directions, would he have gotten into a car? He might have. My husband always told him that a man had a duty to watch out for women and children, but that doesn't mean that he should have gotten into the car with her. You can always give directions without getting into a car with somebody. I'm not blaming him here. He is a 10-year-old child. He did not think that through. I get that, but in general, people. You could certainly argue that kind of attitude is outdated nowadays, but if Shuichi believed it, then we might have something here. Then you think the culprit was a young woman? But it was a man's voice on the phone. She might have been an accomplice, or maybe she didn't even realize she was being used. If anything, that would explain why she hasn't come forward. She herself might have realized she had anything to do with the case. So, the question is, did anybody see Shuichi speaking with a young woman on the day of his disappearance? See what I said about people's biases? That goes for witnesses too. And I figured that maybe, if I started asking new questions, I might get some new answers. So I spent my day asking around Shuichi's school route, seeing if anybody had seen something. And one man thought he had. Do you mean he saw it happen? Well, I can't say that for sure yet. It turned out he wanted something from me, so he asked if we could talk in private. Several hours earlier. Alright, this should do. There's no one around. We can speak in confidence. Excuse me, what was your name again? Yonuchi. Got it. Well, Yonuchi, I'm all ears. Just so we're on the same page. You're a private detective investigating Shuichi Shigima's kidnapping. Do I have that right? Of course. What else do I look like? Oh, should I know what a private detective looks like? No, forget it. Look, I'll tell you straight. My life is in danger. I need your help. You'll excuse me if that caught me a little off guard? Let me ask you straight. Who was trying to kill you? A student called Michio Shiraishi. Interesting. A schoolgirl, huh? Sounds like you've been naughty. It's nothing like that. That girl, she's a murderer. I'm the only one who knows, but I saw what she did. Michio Shiraishi saw her kidnap Shuichi Shigima. Come again? I saw her talk to him on the street and lead him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but Then he went missing. She murdered him. Sure of it, or at least she's got something to do with it. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Then you can't let her get to me. That's true, you've been sitting on some valuable information. Why didn't you tell anybody? Well, you see, if you can't explain that, I don't have any reason to believe you. I couldn't. She told me she'd kill me if I spoke a word. You're telling me a schoolgirl had you scared for your life? So you've been sitting on that all this time and you think she's coming for you now that you've spilled the beans? Yes, that's exactly it. I'm begging you, don't let her get me. Arrest her, I'm telling you, she's a demon. I'm sorry. Well, you seem to believe what you're saying, but it doesn't add up at all. How could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified? You don't know what she can do. She'll curse me. Curse you? I'm sorry, but you're losing me here. What's this face? It's true. Her house, it's... Oh, forget it. Why do I even bother? You seem dubious enough to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. Enough. Find someone else to help me. Hey! It disintegrates into the ground. Ooh. And that's about the long and short of it. I can hardly believe it. At the time I thought that his mention of curses was just crazy talk, but I'm starting to see that there might have been more to it. Then, if we can just find that girl. Curse or no curse, if she was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, then there's a good chance she knows something. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name's Kohei Yonuichi, and he's a teacher at Komagata High School, here in Sumida. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that he's the man that actually, Kohei, is the guy that actually got, schoolgirl's girlfriend to commit suicide in some way, shape, or form, or actually killed her, since these cases seem to all be connected somehow. A teacher, then the schoolgirl is one of his students. I think that's very likely. Yeah. At last we've got a lead. Hopefully it'll be the breakthrough we're looking for. That it? Yeah. The rite of resurrection, huh? I read about that in an occult magazine the other day. Apparently some old books showed up recently with all the gory details. And they say that the rites can be found somewhere in Honjo. I remember the first time you told me about that. It felt like my prayers had been heard. Like I had hope. Real hope for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I've wondered. What if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by when I don't think that if I'd done something differently, Shuichi would still be alive. You can't blame yourself, ma'am. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. Though I know that won't help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the rite. Guess I didn't need to ask. It's written all over your face. I can tell how much he meant to you. But, and this is a big but, this rite is the real deal. Using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. Is that a problem? If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you. Oh. That's a shame. A shame, huh? That's all? I thought if I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come in useful. You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Don't you see an issue with that? I think any parent in my position would happily kill for a chance like that. That's so, is it? Dear, oh dear, what have I gotten myself into? If it makes you uncomfortable, then you won't have to get any blood in your hands yourself. I don't need you to kill the other curse bearers. I only need you to find them. I won't be party to murder, ma'am, not even for a client. Hmm, that's a shame. I see. I didn't realize you were so stubborn. Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I can help you out. What do you have in mind? Oh, how about stealing someone else's curse stone after they filled it with soul drags? If that was all you were after, then I could lend you my services, guilt-free. If the other curse bearers want to kill each other, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen curse stone will work, but we can't worry about that later. Well then, I suppose we have a deal. Although, what if I stole a curse stone using my curse? Would you disapprove? That would void our contract, ma'am. Just warning you now. My. Before we go any further, why don't you tell me about the curse of yours? The haunting clappers, was it? That's one of the 7 mysteries of Honjo, if I remember correctly. That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here, I think. I'm sure I remember hearing that. In that case, my money would be on all the curse bearers being somewhere in Honjo. Our first move should be narrowing them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. We'll need to be ready. The curses make the bearers more willing to kill, so an attack could come from anywhere. That sounds sensible. And if I remember correctly, your haunting clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked flame or lighter on the person, is that right? That's right. In olden times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fire. I'm guessing it punishes those who don't heed the warning. It seems like a good curse to have. It's simple and straightforward enough to use, although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing what else is on the table. You really think it's that good? The target can't do much to throw it off, and it has a nice long activation window. It's big that it works on lighters too. Just slip one into your target's pocket and say that condition were already fulfilled before they even knew you're here. They wouldn't even know what hit them. Maybe I won't have to actually use it. I could just tell someone I could, and they'd have to do what I say. Threats could work, although without any proof, it'll come down to how convincing you can be. If only you could use the curse and back out the last second. The last second? What an interesting idea. I've a lighter right here. We could try it now. That's an interesting proposition. But maybe not. I'm not quite crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig. Oh, I see. You're an odd one, ma'am, if you don't mind me saying, and I don't think it's just the curse. You flatterer. As for what we do next, first of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous or outside of your normal routine. Okay, so, right then. Have you decided what you want me working on? We know that he's helping her with the rite in Shogo's route. But is it really helpful? I don't know. Finally. Finally, I have a lead. I need to know what happened to my son. Your wish is my command, ma'am. And I'll focus all my efforts on looking into the kidnapping. Although, something just occurred to me. You can't investigate the matter at night, can you? At least until the sun rises. Could you search for the other curse spirit? All right, I see how it is. Well, I'd be happy to help. Odds are good that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyone they kill under the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. I bet they'll be trying to do as much as they can before morning comes. So it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night. And once the city wakes up and I can start asking questions, I'll investigate the kidnapping as well. I'll even try and find Miss Shiraishi as part of the bargain. Thank you. That's more than enough. Okay. We talked about everything. My voice is about to be fried. So I would say this is as good a point to leave it as any, as always. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.